I'm going to make Paul less self-conscious, so hold on one second. Okay, Paul, take it away.
But great, I need to be able to see myself. Otherwise, I don't exist if I can't see myself.
That's okay. You do in our heads.
This is Taj Mahal. This is from the golden age of circa 2000.
Okay, so way back in the day.
Maybe before half of our audience was born, potentially.
Looking at you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a game of auctions. There are 12 auctions that will take place. With the last one being here in the middle, but the rest of them being randomly determined, thrown out, shotgunned onto the board. We have ourselves a Knizia track. It only goes around the outside once.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's fair.
And in fact, I do believe we all need to put one of our palaces right there.
We do. Here, I'll be on top of Paul.
Yeah,
I'll mount Paul. Greg will mount me, and Greg mounts everyone.
Mount your friends.
All right, there you go.
So let's see. The rest of that's it. That's it. We don't have any player boards. We don't have anything like that.
Yeah, this is nice and tidy. Like hand for size reference.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's it. What we have is we have 12 provinces with spots where our palaces will go, and they will form chains, and that's going to be one big way to get points over the course of the game. We are going to have some cards, but there's no player boards. There's no tracks to move up. There's none of that stuff. Forward. That's it. Let's talk about what we actually do. The object of the game is to score points, and the main way to score points are twofold. You're going to get a lot of points from connecting your palaces across this map, and you're going to get a lot of points from collecting these symbols here. I don't know, there are 4 or 5 of these different types of symbols. You're going to want to collect multiples of the same symbol. That's going to give you a lot of points. You're going to get points from picking up these tiles here. You're going to get points from playing this specific card right there. We'll cover how to get that. Points.
Points.
Yeah. So the way we get them is through card play, through auctions. There's going to be 12 auctions over the course of the game. Let's start dealing out cards. We each get 6.
Okay. Here. Do you want to just do a reference hand?
Yeah, let's do a reference hand.
Here.
Sure.
There you go.
So let's get 6 cards there. So who shuffled these cards?
Apparently no one. Let's try.
Give me a white one.
Give me a white.
I am trying to find a white card. There aren't any.
Replaces with
okay,
that's great. This is good.
Right,
and there's also
good.
blue, but we don't have a blue in this hand, so that's fine.
Yeah, we do.
There we go.
Look at that.
So,
do all the things.
Starting with the start player, who we'll determine who that is.
We'll figure that out. Right now, in our example, it's Paul.
We're going to go around and around the table, and everyone on their turn is going to get to choose to either play one or 2 cards or withdraw.
Okay.
And we'll cover all the stuff that happens when you withdraw, but the short version is that when you withdraw, you are out for that round, you are done. You cash in what you've already played, if anything, and then you just sit out and wait for everybody else to finish up.
Okay.
But when you play a card, you can play, I'm going to move this out of the way for just a second. You can play a card of a color other than white if it's the first time you've played for the round. So I've got nothing in front of me. It's my first card I'm playing. I'm going to put down this blue one. If I want, I could then play a second card as well, as long as it's white.
Okay, so the second card, if you play a second, must be white.
Must be white.
Got it.
And you cannot play a white by itself.
That's right.
White has to match with another card.
Okay.
So now that is what I have played, and it goes around and it comes back to me. And now, look in my hand, I've got nothing I can play because any other cards you play have to be of the card that you led with. So if I had another blue, I could play that blue. Do you want to grab one in there just so that we can have a good example?
Oh, look, Paul plays again.
Yeah,
next time around.
I don't have any white cards, so I'm not going to play, but now I play. Then it goes around the table and it comes to me, and I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to play, or I can't play any more cards.
So you could keep playing blue and blue-white.
Blue whites if I wanted to until I run out of cards or until I decide I'm done. So now I'm done. And now that I'm withdrawing, I'm going to cash out.
Oh.
What were you doing over there?
The cards. Sorry. No.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Now I'm going to cash out. There are, if we look up here, great. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, the province token for each of these. There are 6 things up for grabs when you cash out. I have, right now, among everybody, for example, let's say I have the most elephants. I have more elephants than anybody else has played. Maybe, yeah. You can start throwing some cards down. I have the most elephants.
There you go. That's where we're at.
Which means
Okay.
I get to claim the elephant award. We'll cover what all the rewards are in just a second. I get to claim the elephant award. I'll cash that out. Let's look here. Do I have the most purple guys? I also have the most purple guys. So if the purple guy award is still available, I get to pick that up. It might not be available because maybe someone cashed out before I did.
That's right.
And got that purple guy before I was able to get to it.
Aha. So you cash out when
you either can't play anymore or don't want to play anymore.
Okay, so when you pass,
Yeah.
effectively.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. So, and the same thing with this elephant token as well. Maybe, unfortunately, I got to it before anybody else cashed out before me and took it from me. The same thing with this thing, which is called the Crown, which is a weird name. You'll see why in a second. That is how cashing out works. You look to see if you have more of a given symbol than anybody else, and if you do, you get to take that reward.
Okay.
Then I take these, I discard them, and then there will be a bunch of cards up here, and let's lay them out right now. 7 cards somewhere. We need to lay out 7 cards in a market.
We probably like this.
I was unprepared for said market.
Put it right here.
That's why I was.
Yeah, put it right there. I failed you. I will pay my penance. There you go. And there you go. There you go. One more. There's our 7. Look at that. It all worked out.
Except for the cameras, but we're good. Go ahead.
My bad. So when you withdraw and you cash everything out, you're then going to come over here and you're going to take 2 of those cards back into your hand. Yeah, but there's an odd number there, which means the last person to cash out is going to only get 1 card.
Okay.
But the last person to cash out may be able to have dropped the hammer and pick up everything that was left over from other people. That is how it works. Then we do a little bit of cleanup. Then we move on to the province number 2, and then and we'll just do that again. And we do that whole thing 12 times, and then whoever has the most points at the end wins. So let's talk a little bit about cashing out, about what that means.
Okay.
So we'll put this back here. We'll put this back here. When you withdraw and you cash out, if you have the most of the icons that match these 4 advisors, if you have the most of these,
Yes.
of any of them, any or all of them, you get to take the token for which you have the most of. So let's say I have the most of those 2. And for each of those, you get to place 1 palace down. You take a palace, you get to put it on one of the spots surrounding the current province right now. So let's say I put this right here. No bonus token there. I don't take the bonus token. Let's say I put it right here. There's a bonus token there, and that is draw a card. So I would get to draw a card from the deck. This token would go away, and I would put my palace right there. Why do you want to put palaces down? Because once you have finished all of your cash out, you are then going to see if you can trace a line from any palace in the current province to any other province where you also have palaces. So make something like this. Let's say, let's see. It will. We're gonna kind of get a little unrealistic here. Oh wait, no, it is gonna work out. 1, 2, 3. So maybe something like this, right? Mm-hmm. So now I have cashed out in 1. I have palaces here, which. This is not a real situation.
Yeah, you're fine.
But I've cashed this.
This is number 7.
That's right. Pretend it's number 7. So
and
now,
this is 10.
Yep.
Sure.
So now I've cashed out here. I can draw an uninterrupted line to a palace in this province, which means I would get 1 point for this province, not per palace, but for this province. Mm-hmm. And then I try to check to see if I can draw an uninterrupted line anywhere else.
Uninterrupted line of your palaces.
My
right?
palaces.
Okay.
This is a gap, so no, I would not get anything here.
Got it.
And the fact that I have 3 palaces in here doesn't mean anything. It doesn't change. I would only get 1 point for this.
Okay.
And if this were gone, like that, leaving that gap, I also would not get my 1 point for this, because even though this is the active province, this palace here would need to go through this empty spot to get to these other ones.
Roger that.
So you're trying to make this big network here. That's going to be one of the things that factors into your decision about whether or not you want to get in on this auction, because you're not going to be able to play all 12. You're not going to be able to be a competitor in all 12 auctions.
Okay.
You're going to have to decide, am I competitive here? Am I not competitive here? Do I want to be? Do I not want to be? Other tokens that you can pick up are, we covered the card. We've got +2. That's just a straight 2 points on the board.
We have gems
We have
or
gems,
jewels,
yeah, we
right?
have-
And coffee.
Tea, coffee. We have the electronic game of Simon, only it looks like it's a little more difficult. Oh, God. And then we have, what is
Drums?
that? Drums? Big old drums?
Or
Yeah.
storage
Something.
of food?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So these are commodity symbols. So if you pick this up, if I put a palace here and I pick that up, I get 1 point for this tile. Then I look and see...
When you pick it up.
When I pick it up.
Okay.
Then I look and see if I have any other tiles with this symbol on it, and I will get 1 point for each of those tiles as well.
Okay, so set collection
Yep.
in that regard.
Yep.
Okay.
And the tiles that also can match that are these province tiles. So if I had this in front of me, and let's cover how to get that. We've covered these advisors. We've also covered having the most elephants. If you have the most elephants, you get to pick this up. As long as no one else has taken it before you, you get to pick it up, and it counts as a commodity tile of that
Sure.
type. So I would get 1 point for that, and if I had other commodities
Of that type. Yeah.
including the tiles themselves or the elephant tiles, I would continue to get points.
Okay.
You want to go in on drums? Go in on drums. Go hard on drums. This is a game about getting 1 point and then 2 points and then 3 points and compounding that. The trickiest one to talk about is the crown, which you get by having the most grand mogul, is this guy right here.
Okay.
You get the crown, and it's called a crown, but it's very weird because your palace actually sits on top of it. And the crown is
It's
almost...
a crown of bedrock.
It's a crown of stilts.
Okay.
It's a crown for your feet.
Okay.
It is. It's like a palace on stilts. So what this now? Each of these can only hold one palace. But if you have the most grand moguls, you get to put your palace on stilts, and you get to put it on any space in the active province, even if there's another palace already there. You kind of put it right next to it, something like that, to sit right there.
Okay.
It is on stilts, which means that it does not pick up bonus tokens.
Okay.
It just kind of hovers above that.
Okay.
The reason you want to go there is because maybe someone has just cashed out before you and taken your spot that you were hoping that was going to be your linchpin. You probably don't want to do Grand Mogul first if you can, if don't want to aim for having Grand Mogul first, because you could be depriving yourself of a bonus token, or you could be depriving yourself of the joy of blocking someone else.
Okay.
Which is definitely a currency in this game.
Okay.
Spite is a good currency in this game. So that is 1, 2, 3. That is all the advisors. That is the elephant. That is the crown. Those are the things you're going to win. And like I said, at the end of your cash out, you're going to pick 2 from the market if there are 2. Otherwise, you'll just take that last card. And then we have some cleanup. And we move on to the next province.
So what if when you cash out,
Yeah.
you're tied? Tied is not the
good.
most, right?
Not good enough.
Okay.
You have to have the most.
Okay, so it's possible some of these don't get selected.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Let's cover one last thing, I think. Let me go over my list, my
Yes,
notes.
yes.
We've got to talk about these cards, which we'll cover in just a second, but I think we've covered everything else. These cards will come into your possession if you collect 2 of a given token. As soon as at the end of a round, if you have 2 of a given token, you must turn them back in and take the associated card.
What if somebody already has the card?
You take it from them.
Okay.
Spiked.
So is it at the end of the round or when you cash out and you have a second
It is
of
at the
that?
That is at the end of the round. Any player with 2 advisor tokens turns them in. Must turn them in and take the card if available. By available, I mean like if you already have it, you give it back to yourself.
Right. Okay. Fair
But
enough.
there's no other further bonuses. But in all cases, if you have 2 of the same, you must turn them in.
Okay.
You don't get to hoard them.
Okay.
That is these cards. Now, what do these cards do?
2 points.
2 points.
All right. I
Ding,
got
ding,
that
ding.
one.
You got
All
that
right,
one.
Nailed it.
This is just an elephant.
Okay.
This is just a Grand Mogul. This is the trickiest one, which is you play this.
Amazing.
It's a pretty cool card. If you start with this there and like this, and then I come along later and play this like that, this green is a blue.
Obviously.
Because I played it with that card.
Yeah. Obviously.
If you do it this way, this is Schrodinger's color right here. This is
Yeah.
not,
It's whatever you
it's-
play next.
now it's
And
a
now
blue.
it's blue.
Now it's a blue.
And so now it's got to be blue-white the whole way
Yes.
down. Got
Yep.
it. Yep. All right. Cool.
And if the astute observer may have noticed that these are white cards, so they can only be played along with. They can't be played on their own. They can only be
right.
played
I-
along with those.
You called me astute.
Yeah, I called you astute.
All right.
Quiet, you astute.
All right. And we play until the 12th through the 12th auction.
There.
What about the Grand Palace there?
let's see here.
What about it?
That's a bonus. You can put a palace there, and you'll get 4 points.
Okay.
So you can just
Hotly
put this right
contested.
there. Hotly contested.
All right.
There is very minimal end game scoring after the 12th round. Everyone's going to get some extra points for the white cards in their hand, and you get
That's very white. Yeah.
and you get is that oh is
Keep
it
going. Go.
and then you'll look at your hand and you'll say, well, what do I have the most color of? You'll get 1 point for every card in that color. So I have the most blue or yellow. It doesn't really matter. I would choose yellow. I would get a point for every card of my most color in my hand.
So
And you're not competing with other people in that
Nope.
case. It's just the
you're
most
just straight up
you
in
have.
your hand,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I do have one question. So
Yeah.
when this guy is here, when that's resolved and that's taken away, well, what happens to this guy?
They both live there, and if you over the course of the game, if you ever see that two, or we can stack it if you want, if you ever see that two are in that spot, you'll just know that it's because one of them had the crown.
Had the crown.
And
So it's not dominance over one or the other or
Oh,
anything like that.
So you can
Okay.
still make a line through them.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah.
And that is the chief reason for being interested in the Grand Mogul.
I can
for
see that.
reason.
Oh, sure.
Those 7 are staying out because they're out.
There's a
Because
green
that's
one.
why. All right. Yay, you made it. Thank you for watching all the way through. Really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really does help the channel. And there's hundreds of other videos for you to go watch here on the channel. And random piece of trivia. I'm a huge Felix the Cat fan. Did you know first appeared 1919? That's what, 105 years ago. That's an old cat. Radio.